Welcome back to the Road to the Cup blog videos. My name is Rachel. I am your host. You can find the written preview for today's race at roadtotocupblog.blogspot.com. That's roadtotocupblog.blogspot.com. Today's preview is on the Whitney, but before I talk about that, I want to talk about last week. I have to say that last week was the first time in quite a while that I enjoyed almost every single major race that I saw. Probably the Vanderbilt was the only one that I was a little bit disappointed in, only because I wanted uh, the Big Beast to win, but Rockfall ran an exceptional race, as did the Big Beast. That was a great race. The Jim Dandy was a great race with Frosted Texas Red. Of course, we learned that Frosted lost a shoe, so that might have been a little bit of the difference between the two of them. I think Travelers is going to be an awesome race. Beholder, as usual, just crushed the other fillies and mares in the Hirsch. She will try to take her title back in the distaff later this year. But first, possibly, it's not official yet, but it looks like she is being pointed towards the Pacific Classic. That's going to be a pretty good race because the older males in California are like the older males in the East. They're not really that good. But I can't wait to see what she does against Catch Flight, Hard Aces. I don't think she'll win just because of her pedigree, but she is going to be the best horse in the race, and I think she has a shot to win. I'm not sure if she can, as I said. Or at least I don't think, only because based off her pedigree. But talent-wise, she has the talent to win at a mile and a quarter. But that was all on Saturday. Sunday was even better. Of course, it was the first time we saw a full of Rachel Alexandra racing in the afternoon. Of course, Rachel's Valentina. Boy, does she have her mom's heart. Oh boy, oh boy. Off slow, and she had to go very wide to get the win. But yeah, you could tell she is, as John Imbrial, who was in for Larry Comas, said she is Rachel's little girl. Hopefully we see Justice Dream soon, like within the next couple weeks. But yeah, I think Todd has to go very slow on her, I think, because the pressure is going to be crazy big. Looks like a win and you're in is going to be next for her, though, the spin away. So, 7 furlongs should be better than 6, and she should get better as the distances get longer. So we'll see if she earns a spot into the juvenile fillies. With it being on dirt, and at Keeneland, I don't think Barbara Banke, who is the owner of Stone Street, will have any problem. But I don't think she's as anti synthetic as her late husband was. And granted, it was on Polly, but of course Rachel won an allowance at 2 at Keeneland. So take it for what it is. Different surface, but she won at Keeneland. So there's that. But on to, I forgot someone. Of course, American Pharoah returned at the Haskell, and boy, almost a stakes record for American Pharoah. Keynice did a very good job of making up a ton of ground, even though American Pharoah was being eased up a little bit in the stretch. just so that he had something in the tank for his next race. We know it won't be the PA Derby. It looks like it's going to be the Travelers. We're not 1,000% sure yet. Or they can go ahead and wait until the Awesome Again, which is the local prep at Santa Anita, and it will be his final race on the West Coast. But it looks like it's going to be probably the Travelers, and then my guess is the Awesome Again, or the Travelers only, or the Awesome Again only. I don't know. Unless the Pacific Classic gets moved back a week, and it doesn't look like it will. The Pacific Classic might come up too quick because it's the week before the Travelers. But yeah, that was last weekend. Now on to this weekend. There is, I believe, only one winning you're in. Let me just double check, make sure that the Whitney does not have a partner this weekend. Oh, and also I always want to say my Miss Sophia. Stop shopping Maria. I'm sorry, stop charging Maria. Won the Shuvi over Untappable. I think Untappable is done. Okay, there are actually two winner-ins this weekend. The other one is in France for the mile. But this video is of course going to be focusing on the Classic. This is a win-in-you're-in for the Breeders' Cup Classic. It is the Whitney at May on the 8th, as usual, 9 furlongs. A field of 10 is entered. 7 of them are Grade 1 winners. There's only one multiple Grade 1 winner in the race. There should be 2, but 7 of them have at least one Grade 1 win. Let's take a look at this year's Whitney Field. Number 1 is Honor Code. Javier Castellano will ride for Shug McGahee. He's by AP Indy. Won the Met Mile, and then before that was 5th in the Awishiba. He does have a win going 2 turns, but that was at 2 in the Remsen against Wicked Strong, who I will talk about in a little bit. So he's going to have to prove it that he can do it again at an older age. His female family is very interesting. He is by, of course, a Belmont winner, Classic winner, Hall of Famer in AP Indy. But his dam is a granddaughter to the one and only Serena Song. So he's got that toughness in him. The pace setup benefits him. I just don't know if he can get it done here. I believe this is his Saratoga debut. Because I think he started a little, hold on, let me double check. Quick to Equibase. I believe this is his Saratoga debut. If this is indeed his debut at Saratoga, he is one of 2 horses who will be making his debut at the oldest track in the U.S. Let me check. No, I'm sorry. This is his second start at Saratoga. His first was in his career debut, which he won. But again, that was at 2, and that was at 7 furlongs. So, but that was on a sloppy track. So he's going to have to prove he likes Saratoga on a fast track, depending on the weather. If it's sloppy, of course, he will be at the big advantage as well. The fact that he's already won on a sloppy track at Saratoga. Number 2 is Tonalist. John Velasquez will ride for Christophe Clement. He is by Tappet. Second in the Suburban and Met Mile. There's a lot, as I said, there's a lot of speed in this race. So he will be also a beneficiary of the fast pace, but outside of Belmont in New York, he is 0 for 3. I don't think he particularly cares for Saratoga. His other loss was at Aqueduct. He's 0 for 2 at Saratoga. So I like him. I just don't know if I like him in this particular race. Just the fact. I don't know. And yeah, the Met Mile was a crazy race, considering it was not at his optimal distance. But there was something odd that happened in the Suburban. I don't know what exactly was. It was probably the poor ride that Johnny V gave, but I didn't like his Suburban at all. And FNX, the winner of that race, is gonna wait till the Woodward, as his two stablemates will do battle here against Tunnelist. But let's just say Jimmy Jerkins has been a thorn in Tonalist's side, and he's got two OFOs in this race that he knows very well. So I don't know what's gonna happen with him in this race. Number 3 is Noble Bird. He is by Birdstone. Sean Bridgemohan will ride for Mark Casse. Won the Stephen Foster and second in the Alashiba. The Alashiba was his stakes debut, and he has to prove that he is just not a Churchill horse. He is the only horse in this race who is making his, not only his Saratoga debut, but his New York debut as well. I'm sorry, there are 2 horses in this race. So even though Honor Code has already made a start, I was wrong about the numbers anyway. There is a second horse, but he's the only one who is making his first start in New York. The other Saratoga debuter has already run several times in New York. So, but Noblebird's just gonna have to prove he is not just a Churchill horse. I really like him overall, like I do Tunnelist. But again, I don't know about this race. So we'll see. Number 4 is Liam's Map. Mike Smith will ride for Todd Fletcher. He is by Unbridled Song, 1 allowance optional claimer, and the Harlan's Holiday in his last 2. This is going to be his greatest stakes debut, and his only loss was last year at Saratoga. That being said, he will be part of the speed with the next horse I will be talking about. I don't know. The horses he beat in the Harlan's Holiday really were past their prime. I mean, Pants on Fire, although Pants on Fire, I think, up until last week was actually running pretty well in his races this year. But Rose to Gold, who was certainly over the hill from her earlier form. So I don't know what he's really faced, and that's why I'm so not sure about him. Maybe he is the real deal. But we'll see. I mean, being by Unbridled Song, it's yeah. I don't like him at all at this race. Number 5 is Moreno. Cornelio Velasquez will ride for Eric Guillot. He's a Ghost Zapper, defending champ of the race. 8th in the Gold Cup at Santa Anita, 2nd in the Californian. That actually broke a 4-race streak where he ran pretty well, including winning the Charlestown Classic. I've talked about how much I dislike this horse. Oh, Moreno. Oh, Moreno. I think he will start a new streak of running well. Just the fact that he ran well so great last year. But this is a tough field, and he's going to get pressure on the front end by Liam's Mac. If they run their eyeballs out, that is going to set up for Honor Code, Tonalist, Noble Bird. Well, actually, not really Noble Bird. Because Noble Bird, I think, will be just right off their pace. But V.E. Day, who I will talk about next, Lee, Wicked Strong, those horses like to come off the pace, and they will be right there for the picking. So that is why I think Moreno is going to be in big trouble in this race. But he also has guts. We'll see. Number 6 is V.E. Day. Junior Alvarado will ride for Jimmy Jerkins. He is by English Channel. I love V.E. Day in this race. I really do. I really do. I really do. 2nd in the Brookland. 6th in the Fort Marcy. He's actually shortening up. And he was 2 for 2 last year, winning the at Saratoga, winning the Curlin, and then nosing out his stablemate, Wicked Strong, in the Travelers. I love him, as I said. I love him. I love him. This is the perfect spot. My only concern, if I have anything, is that 9 furlongs might be a little bit too short for him. I think he wants at least 10, but the fact that there's a ton of speed in this race, I think that's gonna make it make up the difference. Number 7 is Lee. Julio Rosario will ride for Bill Mott. He is by First Samurai. No Dubai belts for him, as he was a charging second in the Foster to Noble Bird after his 3rd place finish in the World Cup. He does have a couple of wins at 3. At Saratoga, but his best finish in a stakes race was 3rd. Granted, that was on turf, and I believe that was against Wise Dan. Let me just. That's something else I need to double check. I know, unprepared Rachel. But I'm just going on the Equibase to see if that race was indeed against Wise Dan, because he is the only horse in this race who has faced the 2-time Horse of the Year. Let's see. Yes, 4-Star Dave is the one I'm looking for. So 2013 4-Star Dave. Yes, he was 3rd to Wise Dan, and the runner-up finisher I will talk about in a minute as well. But his best finish on dirt at Saratoga, outside of his wins, was a 4th place finish, and that was his only other time at Saratoga. The same year in the Forgo to Strapping to Strapping Groom. Of course, the courageous Jackson Bend was in 2nd in that race. So, has class experience at Saratoga. I think that might be helpful. But again, as I said, there's 7 Grade 1 winners, and he's one of them. Of course, the others being Honor Code, Tonalist, Noble Bird, Moreno, V.E. Day, and Wicked Strong. So yeah, we'll see. Number 8 is Coach Inge. Irad Ortiz will ride for Todd Pletcher. He's by Big Brown. Third in the Suburban, won the Brooklyn. The latter was his stakes debut. He does have a start at Saratoga, but likely that was on turf. I don't like Coach Inge in this race. Well, same thing with Liam's map. I don't like him. He did hold off B.E. Day, who was, I think, closing very well in the Brooklyn. But I don't like him. Yeah. I know. I will say that Liam's map and Coach Inge have better chances than the number 10 horse, who I will talk about in a few minutes. But I don't know. Yeah. Number 9 is Wicked Strong. Luis Saez will ride for Jimmy Jerkins. He's by Hard Spun. Second in the Forbidden Apple to King Caressa, who finished right in front of Lee in that 4-star day that Wisdan won in 2013. Fifth in the Met Mile. He's been at a bit of a crossroads this year. I mean, he's run okay. He's run not so great. I think he will enjoy the return to Saratoga. Won the Jim Dandy here last year, was second in the Travelers to V.E. Day, who he shares partial ownership with. Centennial is actually his owner, but V.E. Day's owner owns a portion of Wicked Strong and another colt who's running on Saturday, who you may have heard of if you follow him on Twitter, Juba. But he and Wicked Strong are both Centennial, and V.E. Day has his own private owner who owns a portion of both Wicked Strong and Juba as well. But getting back to Wicked Strong, he loves Saratoga. Like V.E. Day, I think he's run his best races at Saratoga. And will enjoy the return to the spa. Let's see, what else do I have to see? The thing is with Wicked Strong, his record speaks for itself. Same thing with Tonalist. I mean, they're both great horses. I just think at Saratoga, Wicked Strong's a little bit better. So hopefully, I'm not 100% sure he can win just based on the post. But I will love if he were to win this race. Number 10 is Normandy Invasion. Kerwin Clark will ride for Larry Jones. He is by Tappet. Second in Carl Hanford, and he didn't win. He was also second in Allowance Optional Claimer. Only one win since the 2013 Derby. This is his Saratoga debut. No chance. But let's just say it. No chance. I know his jockey's having a career year. No chance. Let's just say this. There are 3 non-Grade 1 winners in this race. Liam's Map, Coach Inge, and Normandy Invasion. Liam's Map has won a stakes race since 2013. Coach Inge has won a graded stakes since 2013. Normandy Invasion hasn't done either. Now, granted, he's been injured for a lot of that time. Switch trainers, a lot of stuff happens. But I've never been a Normandy Invasion fan. And this is a big step up class, what he's been facing at Delaware. Now, granted, Larry Jones has had several Grade 1 winners. Hard Spun, Proud Spell, Havre de Grace, they've all won Grade 1s at Saratoga after starting their careers at Delaware. In the case of Havre de Grace, of course, she was with a different trainer at first and had previously run well at Saratoga before winning the Woodward, but again, Normandy Invasion doesn't fit that bill because he did not start his career at Delaware. I don't know. Maybe he finally runs his best race of his career. I just don't see against this field. I really don't. Now he's getting weight. I should mention that the 7 Grade 1 winners are carrying 124. The 3 non-Grade winners are carrying at least 117. Only Coach Inge is not. He's carrying 121. I guess because of his greatest stakes win. But Liam's Map and Normandy Invasion are carrying 117. Coach Inge, as I said, is carrying 121. Everyone else is carrying 124. I don't even think the weight difference is going to make a difference for Normandy Invasion. But yeah, that's why they run the race. First one to the wire wins. So that is your Whitney field. Again, once again, the field in post order. Number 1, Honor Code. Number 2, Tonalist. Number 3, Noble Bird. Number 4, Liam's Map. Number 5, Moreno. Number 6, V.E. Day. Number 7, Lee. Number 8, Coach Inge. Number 9, Wickestron. Number 10, Normandy Invasion. So up next are the picks. So just like last week, I have basically two sets of picks. I have the head picks and I have the heart picks. Only because I'm doing this again because it was very popular and any of these horses can, even Normandy Invasion, can win this race. So I'm going to start out with the head picks. Now I should say that my head and my heart picks, the 1-2 is the same. I just flipped them for head and heart. And I will explain why when I do them. So for the head picks, I have V.E. Day first. The reason why I have V.E. Day first and not Honor Code is that I think V.E. Day is the better closer of the two of them. I just feel like that, and just based off the fact that he loves Saratoga, I think Honor Code is going to be a great horse down the road. I'm just concerned that 2 turns is not what he wants to do. I think he wants to do 1 turn. And I'm not 100% on Tonalist at Saratoga. Lee, I think, has a slight chance. Noble Bird, again, like Tonalist, I'm not really sold on him at Saratoga. I think V.E. Day, it seems that Saratoga is probably the only place he can win. So for that reason, I am picking V.E. Day to win for my head. In second, I have Wicked Strong. I want to see a repeat of the Travelers. I think Saratoga is going to be a big confidence booster. Second on turf, I'm not really sure if that was based on his class or if he liked being against lesser company for that one race. We'll see. There is a horse who finished behind him running early on the card. He also happens to be by Heartspun named Reload. So we'll see if he can rebound from his poor race in the Forbidden Apple. If that happens, I think that might be good news for Wicked Strong, but I'm not 100% sure. And the only reason I have this horse third, as much as I said that I don't like him, is because Saratoga is a speed-biased track, and that is Moreno. He loves Saratoga. He has the speed. And I think he has the heart to just hold on for that third position. That being said, if Liam's map takes him to go too fast, then he has no shot. So, that is the only reason why I have Moreno third. My heart picks, as I said, I have VE Day and Wicked Strong 1-2. But I have them reversed. I have Wicked Strong on top for my heart picks and VE Day second. Because I want to see Wicked Strong get revenge on his stablemate. I really do. And then for show, I have Honor Code only because I think the pace is going to be high enough that he's going to be running right at the end. I think his turn of foot was excellent in the Met Mile. I don't know if, as I said, if he can really do 2 turns. That's why I want him to prove me wrong. Same with Thomas. As much as I think he doesn't like Saratoga, I want him to prove me wrong. Any of these horses, possibly, any of these horses, as I said, has a chance to win. But for my head picks, win VE Day, place Wicked Strong, show Moreno. For my heart picks, win Wicked Strong, place VE Day, and show Honor Code. So that is your Whitney Preview. Horse Hall of Fame is today, or congrats to the 4 who are going in: Chris Aitley, Keen Leatherberry, Extra Heat, and the one and only Lava Man. I will actually be the next preview for the video for the Road to the Breeders' Cup will be a race that Lava Man won. I'm gonna unfortunately have to skip the Arlington Million and Beverly D video preview due to being out of town. But the next one for video will be the week of August 22nd, and that will be Pacific Classic week. There are 3 winning your ins that day: the Delmar Handicap for the turf, the Pat O'Brien for the dirt mile, and of course the Pacific Classic for the classic. That could be a great field with Hard Aces, Beholder, Big John B. I'm sure we'll get Catch a Flight. Let's see, who else? Opportunity. I don't think we're gonna see Bayern. We'll see if we'll see Bayern in that race. But next week it's another, as I said, even though I won't be able to do the previews for video, it's gonna be a great weekend, Arlington Million weekend. We'll see how many Euros come. I don't think we're gonna see hardest core this year. Not sure if we're gonna see Euro Charlene, but she's been having some issues coming out of the gate. We'll probably see a few of the Belmont Derby horses. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Lady Eli take on Order as she is currently battling laminitis. So yeah, still should be a good weekend next week, and then the following week being Pacific Classic. It's hard to believe that we are just a couple weeks, well, not a couple, but we are just like basically right around the corner from the Breeders' Cup. It seems like that this summer is going by fast. But yeah, enjoy the Whitney tomorrow. And I will be back at the end of the month for the Pacific Classic. So talk to you later. Bye.